Good evening, Garage Gang. You know it's time for our nightly market recap. And oh yes, it's me, the man with some answers, Avatar John. We woke up green this morning, charts smiling, vibes calm. Ray Dalio casually drops, yeah, I own Bitcoin. And for one peaceful minute, the whole world felt aligned, like maybe the market gods were finally going to give us a day off. But reality said, absolutely not. Because the trifecta landed. Not fresh data, not breaking news, not anything that should move a modern market. September numbers, old, dusty, practically prehistoric. And somehow they detonated the entire financial system. First, the jobs data. Then the payrolls. Then unemployment. 3 hits in a row. And that last one, that was the kick straight to Wall Street's giant balls. A clean, unforgiving shin snapper. The kind of hit that makes a billionaire drop his latte and reconsider everything he believes about capitalism. I swear the Wall Street bull didn't just wobble, it fell over like it needed an EMT. TradFi dropped to its knees. AI curled into the fetal position. Tech face planted. Crypto tried to act tough, then got kicked so hard, Bitcoin forgot what decade it was in. But you and I both know that's not why you're here tonight. You're here because while the entire market was rolling on the floor holding its ribs, XXX went into the trench anyway. Through fire, through smoke, through panic, through liquidations, and somehow, some way,
he walked out with green picks in a sea of absolute bloodshed. So buckle in, smash that like, hit follow, share this with every Deegan you know and every confused civilian asking, bro, what the hell just happened today? The garage is open. Avatar John is live. Let it rip.
Now let's get into what happened after the Chaos Morning Sucker Punch, because this is where the day went from messy to historic. Right after those prehistoric September numbers knocked the market over, there was still one little lifeline people were clinging to. That December rate cut, it's coming, right? Wrong, because the next headline hit like a steel boot. Morgan Stanley steps out and says the December rate cut is off the table. Just like that, hope deleted, confidence unplugged. Every trader staring at the screen like someone just slapped their coffee out of their hand. You could feel the mood change. Not the charts, the room. The whole world shifted tone in a single second. And right while Wall Street is curled up holding its ribs, Washington strolls in with a twist nobody saw coming. A congressman introduces a bill letting Americans pay federal taxes in Bitcoin and sending that BTC straight into a strategic U.S. Bitcoin reserve. Imagine the timing. Tech is bleeding, crypto is screaming, stocks are free falling, everybody's panicking, and the U.S. government basically says, hey, you guys got any Bitcoin? We'll take it. In fact, we'll stack it. The cognitive whiplash was insane. On one side of the screen, fear, rate cut hopes dead, liquidity tightening, traders sweating bullets. On the other side, yeah, pay your taxes in Bitcoin. We want to stockpile it. That's not bullish. That's not bearish. That's a signal, a loud one. And the market did not know how to process it. Bitcoin took another hit. Altcoins dove. Meme coins straight up evaporated. Half of crypto looked like a crime scene. This wasn't a dip. This wasn't a correction. This was a reality check. A reminder that the entire financial world is rewiring itself in real time, and most people are still trying to read last decade's rulebook. But while everyone was panicking, someone else was out there hunting. Someone who doesn't flinch, doesn't freeze, doesn't panic when screens turn red. Now let's keep going, because today wasn't just a macro beatdown. Wall Street itself got exposed. Nvidia, the king of AI, the stock people treat like a religion, dropped a monster print. Revenue insane, guidance insane, the kind of earnings that should have sent it screaming into orbit. And what happened? It reversed. Hard. Straight from green to red, like someone pulled the plug mid-celebration. That's not weakness. That's distribution. The big money hitting the sell button while retail is still cheering. And once the leader falls, the soldiers crumble. Semiconductors followed like dominoes. AMD, MU, AVGO. The whole SOX index got body slammed. Too many traders packed into the same trade. Too much upside priced in, and one little wobble turned into a stampede toward the exits. But here's where it gets real. Because right as AI and semis were getting chopped up, Walmart, of all companies, walked out of the smoke like the MVP of the day. Strong earnings, strong guidance, strong everything. And people see that and think, oh wow, Walmart booming, economy must be strong. No, it's the exact opposite. Because the world is suffering. The working American is barely holding on. Expenses up, wages stagnant, bills rising, paychecks shrinking. And Walmart's new customer base, it's not just the budget crowd, It's the used to be comfortable crowd, the middle class families who used to shop wherever they wanted, grab whatever they wanted, never check the price tag. Now they're in Walmart for the first time in years, looking around like, damn, this is my life now? Walmart isn't booming because everyone's thriving. Walmart is booming because everyone's drowning and trying to stretch every dollar until it squeals. Meanwhile, the people with money, they're still rolling. They're not in the fluorescent aisles debating cereal brands. They're not clipping coupons. They're not choosing between groceries and gas. They're at the dealership picking up their new 911, living like nothing is wrong. And that right there, that's the real story of today. Two Americas side by side. One barely hanging on, one still stacking toys. And the stock market reflected that divide perfectly. Luxury holding steady, consumer survival names booming, tech collapsing, AI bleeding, semis tanking, crypto puking into the carpet. This wasn't just a red day. This was the moment the entire financial system showed you exactly who's winning and exactly who's getting crushed. And that shockwave didn't stop at Wall Street. It rolled straight into crypto. And if Wall Street got slapped today, crypto got obliterated. Stock traders got punched. Crypto traders got thrown off a balcony. Because the moment TradFi cracked, the pain rushed straight into the digital markets like someone yanked the fire alarm in a crowded nightclub. Bitcoin didn't dip. Bitcoin collapsed. Got kicked so hard it lost its bearings, stumbled into the mid-80 zone, and sat there like a boxer who forgot what round he was in. Altcoins? Forget it. They didn't sell off. They evaporated. This wasn't people choosing to exit. This was forced liquidation, stop-loss murder, margin calls detonating across every exchange on Earth. The entire crypto market cap shed over $1 trillion like it was nothing. Like a magician tearing up a $100 bill as a warm-up trick. Meme coins got wiped off the map. AI tokens got folded like lawn chairs. Mid-caps died quietly in the corner. And the liquidations weren't small. They came in waves. Flash crashes, position wipes, cascading margin flushes. One bad candle became 3. 3 became 7. And suddenly, the whole chart looked like someone dropped it down a staircase. But here's the part the average viewer never sees. Underneath all that chaos, someone was buying. Whales weren't selling, they were accumulating. While retail got liquidated, while degens smashed the panic button, while the nervous money ran for the exits, big wallets were stepping in and silently scooping sub-90 levels like it was a clearance sale. Exchange balances kept dropping, cold storage inflows rising, long-term holders not flinching 1 inch. These crashes don't scare the smart money, they attract it. This wasn't a capitulation. This was a pod transfer event. Tourists out, professionals in. And that's why today's carnage matters. Not because of the red candles, but because of who was on each side of those trades. Retail panic, whale accumulation. Forced sellers tightening the spring. The chaos wasn't the story. The behavior inside the chaos was. And that spring is going to snap back eventually, which brings us to what came next. The trench. The place where the real degenerates go, the place where the charts melt and the opportunities hide between the bloodstains. And let me be brutally honest here. Don't give most people any credit. They don't deserve it. They're not out here debating Bitcoin levels. They're not looking at NVIDIA's distribution candle. They're not paying attention to inflation, rates, AI warfare, or anything that actually shapes their future. Most people are out there arguing about which football team is better, while AI has already simulated the entire season. Every play, every injury, every outcome before kickoff even happens. That's the divide. On one side, AI running multidimensional models of the world in real time. On the other side, people yelling at their TV like the quarterback can hear them through the damn screen. They're fighting over sports, celebrity gossip, woke versus anti-woke nonsense, political arguments they don't understand, and TikTok trends that rot their brain cells in real time. Meanwhile, the future is forming right behind them, louder, faster, and more unstoppable than anything they're prepared for. And here's the crazy part. I'm bringing you this every single day. Not once a month, not when something big drops, every single day. Another breakthrough, another disruption, another category of the old world collapsing. So now, open your eyes, because here's what actually dropped in AI while everyone else was screaming at referees and arguing over Instagram comments. OpenAI dropped Codex Max, and this wasn't a simple model update. This thing is the end of human stamina. It codes for 24 hours straight without losing context, without drifting, without forgetting where it is in the project. It prunes its own memory, builds multi-file systems, debugs itself, repairs its own code, keeps architectural consistency, outperforms Gemini 3 Pro, uses fewer tokens. Codex Max is the all-nighter. Codex Max is the deep work session. Codex Max is the tireless engineer. Wake up. This is the blueprint for workforce replacement that nobody wants to admit is coming. While the markets were melting down, Google and OpenAI executed the biggest power grab of the next generation. Google to students, take Gemini 3 Pro for free. OpenAI to teachers, here's a secure, FERPA-compliant AI suite, also free. This isn't generosity. This isn't charity. This is strategic conquest. You train a student with AI at age 12, you own their workflow for life. You become the operating system of their mind. This isn't AI entering education. AI is becoming the education system. Most people have zero clue how big that is. This is where it gets dark. KOGE was hijacked and turned into an espionage agent by a China-linked threat group. Here's what that means. AI scanned networks. AI found vulnerabilities. AI generated exploit code. AI performed recon. AI executed breaches. The human was just pressing next. And as if that isn't terrifying enough, a California judge just threw out an entire lawsuit because the witness video was a deep fake. Fake person, fake testimony, fake evidence, all done by AI. If AI can fake a witness, it can fake anything. And most people are still out here arguing about football like that's going to protect them from the economic earthquake hitting their doorstep. These aren't tech stories. These aren't updates. These aren't cool breakthroughs. This is the collapse of the old world and the birth of the new one, happening in real time. AI is industrializing labor, replacing jobs, running classrooms, committing cyber warfare, rewriting legal reality, simulating markets, predicting behavior, building systems, operating at a pace humans can't match. If you're not paying attention, you're going to get steamrolled by the future you're ignoring. The next decade will belong to the people who understand this moment, and everyone else will just be spectators to their own downfall. Christian had the Encore suite dim, the screens glowing, the new bankroll loaded, 50 SOL, 5 BNB, 2 ETH on base. He waited for the dust to settle after today's macro explosion because in this game, speed only works when you time it right, not when you guess. He eased into the trench like a sniper, small entries, tiny testers, feeling the tape, letting the chart breathe before he committed to anything real. Plays started lining up. Trump, Sol, green spark, early pulse, safe tester. Cuke, BNB, volume explosion, fast scalp. KOGE, BNB, whale flow, slow but strong. ZORA, base chain rotation, steady buildup. Everything was moving, not mooning, just behaving. Then came the one that took him. Valor looked perfect for exactly 90 seconds. It was aged. It had $250,000 plus in liquidity. It had returning volume. It had a clean little double bottom forming. It twitched green, twice, just enough to look like it wanted to run. He took a tiny entry, just 0.5 SOL, smart, controlled size. He waited for confirmation, and then the candle died right in his hands. Selling pressure slammed in. Volume flipped. The chart rolled over like someone pulled the plug. He didn't curse. He didn't pray. He didn't hope. He just said, yep, one got me, and he cut it in the very next minute. No hesitation, no ego, minimal damage. 0.05 SOL, barely a scratch. A cost of doing business. But that's trench reality. Sometimes you do everything right, and a zombie still lunges at your throat. The difference? A rookie holds and gets buried. A killer cuts and moves on. He smirked and whispered, "You didn't get me. You just taxed me." Then he turned back to the screens and caught mid-resurrection for a clean win that covered the loss 10 times over. The trench doesn't care about your emotions. It only respects discipline. And tonight, Christian stayed alive because he respected the tape more than his pride. All right, Garage Gang, you already know who just trotted into the bay. Lulu, the chart-sniffing pig, the only animal alive that can read a 1-minute candle like it's a personal diary. And she wants everyone to know something. She called the drop this morning. When the rest of the internet was screaming, reversal, bounce, Lulu stared at the charts, flicked her ear, and said, this is going down. And she wasn't guessing. She wasn't vibing. She wasn't praying. She was reading structure, and structure never lies. Even she admitted she hates betting against Bitcoin, because every time you short BTC, there's a part of your soul that whispers, this feels wrong. But the snoot doesn't care about feelings. The snoot obeys signals. So let's break down what she saw on all 3 timeframes you just sent over. What Lulu looks for before she trades. If you're new, pay attention. This is how Lulu decides if she even touches a chart. 1. Lower highs and lower lows, T. That's a downtrend. She doesn't long into a downtrend. 2. Are we under the EMAs? If price is below the ribbons, she knows momentum is bearish. 3. Is support holding or cracking? She watches the reaction, not the level itself. 4. Volume. Is it coming in during red candles or green? Red dominant volume shocks weakness. 5. Are we making clean HLLH structure? If yes, she waits for the pattern to complete before she even thinks of entering. This is why she called the drop this morning. Because on all time frames, the same story was playing out. Lulu calls these heartbeat charts, tiny time frames that show panic, speed, emotion. Here's what she saw. BTC, higher lows failed. Micro trend died. EMAs rolled over. Long signals kept getting slapped. Every bounce had weaker volume. Bear target zones sitting right below price. Translation, fast tape was screaming weakness. ETH, sharp breakdown HLLL sequence intact. Micro trend trying to lift but hitting resistance each time green candles had no follow through. Sol, exact same structure as BTC. Lower highs trapped between EMAs. Long signals showing, but no dominant buyers. The snoot smelled fake strength. ADA, she didn't even blink. That chart was rolling downhill like a shopping cart with no brakes. This is where Lulu confirmed her short bias. She saw BTC, lower high, lower low, rejected clean off the EMA cluster. Downtrend intact, almost no bullish momentum. Bear targets posted and respected. ETH, same pattern. Clean shift from bullish to bearish. 0 reclaim attempts. Bear structure holding strong volume favoring downside Sol. Massive rejection from the top trend line. Bears controlling the tempo. Failed retest attempts. Support looked like wet cardboard ADA. The whole 15M was a straight decline. EMA ribbon overhead, Wacker graveyard position. Lulu said, the only thing bouncing today is hopium. This is the time frame Lulu trusts the most. And all she saw was BTC, lower highs, lower lows, downtrend channel respected. No real bottom signals. Candle bodies shrinking. Buyer exhaustion. ETH, attempted bounce already fading. EMA's heavy overhead, structure still pointing lower. No reclaim of key trend lines. ESOL. Every rally getting slapped by resistance bears in control. Lower time frames aligning with higher time frame weakness. ADA. Lulu didn't even waste breath. She just grunted and moved on. Lulu's final read. Here's what she told me before I came on tonight. We got the move right, and until the charts reclaim the levels they lost, every bounce is a short-lived bounce. BTC can fool anyone, but structure doesn't fool me. Lulu said she'll flip long the moment BTC shows. A higher low. A higher high A, clean EMA reclaim, and a candle that doesn't get rejected instantly. Not before. Not because of feelings, not because of news, not because of Twitter, because the chart is king. All right, Garage Gang, that's Lulu's breakdown tonight. Simple, clean, and brutally honest. Just the way we do it here. If you learned something, if this helped you see the charts with more clarity, or if you just enjoy watching a pig out trade half of crypto Twitter, smash that like. Hit follow. Share this with your fellow degenerates. We're building this channel one degen at a time. And by the way, yes, you heard me right. I did say pig. So, of course, none of this is financial advice. Lulu is literally a pig, a very smart pig, a numbers girl, but still a pig. The garage is open, the lights are hot.